Well, I have to say, the innovation and technology in the building game has come so far over the last couple of decades. And let's face it, when we're building our own house, we want the sharpest corners, we want the most sophisticated curves, and we want it to be easy and fast. So I've come to find out what's behind the best buildings.
G'day, Jamie.
G'day, Gons. How are you, mate?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Gons, I've been wanting to come and visit this place for many years because it's an iconic Aussie brand, right?
Absolutely. We've been here in Western Sydney for the last 60 years, both developing, innovating and manufacturing here on this site. So we'd love to show you around.
Beautiful. Show me more, mate. Let's do it.
So Jamie, here you can see an example of both the Rondo product and the gyprock plasterboard working together to give that finished profile that all customers are looking for on their jobs.
So in a way, it's kind of like nobody really gets to see our skeleton, do they?
Correct.
And Rondo's kind of the skeleton of the building. It's the bones, you know, but we're covered up with flesh and skin, whereas Rondo's covered up with plaster and gyprock, and the two go together to create a body. And this is a great example of how to build a house.
Just like the skeleton in our body is the framework that helps us stand up, the Rondo product is the same inside a wall. It's the framework for that wall to stand up. And as you said earlier, the plasterboard then becomes the skin around our framework.
Yeah. But you are kind of this unsung hero. You're Australia's best kept secret, aren't you?
Well, for the last 60 years, most people still don't know us.
Well, mate, I remember you, all right?
Appreciate that.
I'll never forget you.
Well, appreciate it.
You feel better now, Gons?
Absolutely.
Oh, access all areas, Gons.
Absolutely.
So this is your raw material
Yep.
that comes into the factory.
Absolutely. Coils have 17 to 21% recycled content.
That's pretty cool. Can you do any more than 21% recycled?
No, we can't use any more than 21%. Unfortunately, it will compromise the structural integrity of the steel.
When people say to you, boy, it takes a bit of carbon to create steel, what do you then do about that?
So what we do for our customers, those who want to opt into our program for carbon neutral, as part of the Climate Active program, we can then buy carbon credits to offset that project, buying carbon credits that regenerate forest land.
Wow.
From that, we then can give that to our customers when they opt into a particular project where they want to become carbon neutral.
So you're investing in Australian forests to offset the carbon from here.
Absolutely.
Which means we're getting biodiversity and we're reducing carbon.
Correct.
So am I carbon neutral?
Absolutely. From Rondo's side of things, you are carbon neutral.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that.
No, easy.
Well done. And is this where you're capturing the waste?
So as you can see here, this is all the scrap that's coming off the product.
Yeah.
So that section there is the width of the shear. The shear is 3 millimeters wide, and that's the offcut from the shear.
And you put all that waste back into the product?
Absolutely. All this goes back to recycling.
That's great. What percentage of waste are you capturing?
Oh, over 99.5% of our waste goes back into recycling.
That's a great story. Good on you, mate. So this is the final product, yeah?
This is where our operators do their QC checks and check the product to make sure that it meets all the specifications.
And tell me, steel frame buildings are becoming pretty popular, right?
So the good thing about our product is obviously it is steel. So steel does not have a flammability similar to timber or plastic or PVC. So it's a great product to be using in those kind of applications.
So I would imagine in bushfire zones, steel framing is probably preferred, yeah?
Correct. In bushfire areas, it's part of code that houses must be made out of steel profiles, and it is becoming very popular in those areas.
All right, so this is where you load it up and send it out, huh?
Right across the country.
With my project, I would have had one of these trucks.
So the truck got loaded within inside of 20 minutes, is able to drop off a load, come back and pick up another load. Because of their chain responsibility, they're able to do 2 to 3 deliveries within inside their 12 hours of driving per day.
So efficient, aren't you?
We try.
Well, I have to say, I have learnt so much. In particular, the very man behind me who created this incredible piece of Aussie innovation. He came out from Hungary here in Australia, and in 1949, He had a zipper factory. And he thought, this is kind of hot for all my workers. He cared about the workers. He thought, maybe I could develop a suspended ceiling system that might make the factory a little cooler, and suddenly, boom, Rondo and all of the other products underneath it went along and created what you see today. Necessity is the mother of all invention, and it's nice to know that that original idea came from the right place, because Eric cared about his workers.